This is the Fredericksburg Neighbors Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Dory Stewart.
Welcome back to another episode of the FXBG Neighbors Podcast, where we share the stories of our favorite local brands. I have two special guests joining me today. We've got Michael Harvey joining us, as well as Tom Staley. They are with the Rappahannock Regional Criminal Justice Foundation. Mike and Tom, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having us, Dory.
Well, I am excited about this. I'm excited to learn more about this foundation. So let's start there. Share with us, what is the Rappahannock Regional Criminal Justice Foundation?
So the foundation was started in 2016 when I saw a need to help bring the community together and actually supplement some funding for our regional police academy. I took over the academy in 2013 and quickly realized that funding streams for the training of our local police officers was unfortunately very, very limited, very tight. And so we saw a need to set up the foundation to not only bring in some grants and revenue for the academy, but also to let the communities know what we do here at the academy and how they can get involved.
Very interesting. I imagine most people like me did not even realize there was that need. So thank you for figuring that out and for supplementing something like this. That's really important. And so share with us a little bit more. Let's dive deeper. So what is the overall mission and how does this impact the community?
Sure. So, I mean, the overall mission of the academy is really to try to bridge that gap between our training mission here at the academy, what we are teaching the recruits and educating the public on what exactly their police officers are learning in the police academy so that we have a better understanding so that we can help alleviate a lot of that mistrust and misunderstanding in law enforcement within our communities.
Interesting. And so what kind of training do you provide?
So we offer everything from entry-level basic training. So it's certification either to be a law enforcement officer, a jail officer, animal control, court security, civil process, and emergency communications. So really, if there's anyone out there with a badge and a gun or on the 911, they have come through here for their initial training. And then we're also responsible for all of their continuing education and advanced training. We're basically a schoolhouse for law enforcement.
Interesting. So I imagine that you hear a ton of myths and misconceptions when it comes to law enforcement. So are there things that you are trying to do to kind of bridge that gap?
Well, I think probably the biggest myth and misconception out there is that people get into law enforcement, because they want to be, gung-ho, rah-rah soldiers, and that couldn't be farther from the truth. Are there a few of those out there? Sure. But the vast majority of people who come into this profession truly just want to give back to their communities, make their communities safe so that they can raise their own children, feel secure in their own homes. And so it's really a profession of service, and it takes a lot of love and dedication in order to do this.
Yeah, I bet. Interesting. So how does the foundation support what the academy does?
Well, I think, one of the big things that the foundation does is they help find volunteers. And that's kind of how Tom got involved. And I'll let Tom speak to the volunteer piece here in a minute. But we also, will host community days where the community can come in and see exactly what the Academy training mission is, and what all goes into the certification process for a law enforcement officer. Tom got involved with the foundation because he initially started volunteering here and been a fixture. And so, Tom, if you want to talk about your volunteering experience.
I sure will. I enjoyed a long career in the wireless communications industry, working for Motorola. I got to retire early, and I spent most of my career in sales to law enforcement. So I had nothing lined up in retirement. I wanted to give back to those who supported my career, and started volunteering 10 years ago at the Academy, from recruit training, helping with blood drives, helping at the command cookout where the chiefs and sheriffs prepare the food for the recruits, fundraising events. And then 8 years ago, Mike asked me if I would join the board of directors of the foundation, and proudly said yes, I would.
Amazing. So you do a lot of work with the community. So what are some ways that the community can support you back?
Sure. So, some of the ways is obviously if anyone feels moved to donate to the foundation, we have a link on our website. All of donations are tax deductible. We are a 501c3. And so that goes a long way in, supporting what we do as a foundation to then support the training mission of the Academy.
Amazing.
I'd like to add too, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
I'd like to add too that we're going to be doing an event here July 31st where the Academy will be the venue for a Bridge to Brighter Futures event, where we'll be giving away a number of things from backpacks, school supplies, haircuts, things to help the community and hope they get engaged and drawn into what we do here at the Academy and the foundation.
Amazing. Amazing. And so, Tom, we got to hear about your background. Mike, tell us a little bit about your background. How'd you get into this?
So I've been in law enforcement in one fashion or another since 1993, when I joined the Army and was military police officer. I started my civilian police career in 97 with the town of Vinton down in Roanoke County. And then in 99 moved up to Spotsylvania County, where I remained and rose up to the rank of captain and was the division commander for their criminal investigations before taking over the Academy in 2013. And I've been here ever since.
Amazing. Amazing. And Tom, what do you love most about what you do with the foundation?
Gives me a sense of purpose in retirement. I was never big into golf because every time that windmill knocked my ball out of the way, I said, that's enough. No, I just wanted to find a way to help give back to those who helped me during my career. And I think this was probably the best home I could find. The Academy and their staff are wonderful here. They really do a good job in the training aspects of these recruits that come through. And it warms my heart to see recruits coming into this profession, because as you can imagine, it's not an easy profession. So every time I come into a new class and there's 25 to 35 students in a class, that's just reassuring, knowing that they're going to be backfilling those who are retiring or moving on. So those are the things that drive me to come in here.
Amazing. What is a message that you would give someone who is thinking about joining the Academy?
Mike?
Wow. A message for someone who's thinking about joining the Academy. It takes a special person to become a law enforcement officer. You really have to have that heart for service, a heart for giving back, because this job is going to ask a lot of you, and it does take a lot of you. And so for someone who is considering this career, just the knowledge that, this is a service profession, and coming in knowing that you are as good as the person who is beside you. And, we hold each other accountable. We hold each other up. We support each other when they are not doing well. And, we're really just a big family here at the Academy.
I love it. I love it. So, what is something that you wish the listeners knew about the foundation or the academy?
I think the biggest piece for me is just how limited funding is, and the fact that I wish I never had to set up a foundation. I'm not a fundraiser. I don't like going out and asking people for money. But the way that our academy system is set up in Virginia, we have very limited funds. In fact, the state provides us less than $130 a year to train all of our officers, each officer, $130 per officer per year. And that means we have to rely on our localities to supplement that. And we're a good fiscal steward, but as we progress and we see more technologies, we see AI coming on, we don't have the funding to provide that state-of-the-art training through academy means. And so we have to rely on sources such as the foundation to help bridge that gap and provide those cutting-edge training tools so that we can properly equip our officers to go out there and be effective in 21st century policing.
Yeah. Well, I hope that the listeners are hearing the message, because what you both are doing is so incredibly important for our entire community. So thank you both for all that you do. And thank you for coming on the podcast and sharing your message with us. If the listeners want to learn more, where can they find you?
Sure. On our website, which is just rrcjf.org. And they can follow the links there. There are ways to get in contact with us if they want a tour, if they just want to sit down and learn more about the foundation and the academy. And of course, there are links where they can directly donate to the academy as well.
Amazing. Well, Mike and Tom, thank you again for joining me on the podcast today and sharing the foundation and the academy with us.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us, Dory.
Thank you, Dory.
Thank you for listening to the Fredericksburg Neighbors Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to fxbgneighborspodcast.com.